Next topic is magnetic properties of the coordination compound. For metal ions with up to 3 electrons in the d orbital, for example, like titanium 3 positive is there. Now the titanium atomic number is 22. It is 3d24s2. And when we write for titanium 3 positive, then 2 moves from here, 1 from here, this becomes 3d1. So D1 is responsible for the magnetic behavior. Similarly, for vanadium 3 positive, chromium 3 positive, the vacant d orbitals are available for the octahedral hybridization with 4s and 4p orbitals. Magnetic behavior of these free ions and the coordination entities is similar. And when more than 3d electrons are present, the required pair of 3d orbital for octahedral hybridization is not directly available. D4, like in case of chromium 2 positive. Now chromium atomic number is 24. This becomes 3d5 4s1. And the same will write for chromium 2 positive. One will move from here to one from here. So this becomes a D4. Similarly, for the D5 Mn2 positive, Fe3 positive, they have the vacant d orbital resulting in the pairing of d electrons, which leaves 2, 1, 0 unpaired electrons respectively. Like these are the D4, D5 ions applications. Like you have manganese. Now manganese atomic number is 25, 3d5 4s2. If the 3 electron moves, 2 from here, 1 from here, this becomes a 3d4. Now 3d4 is there and d4 electrons are available for the magnetic behavior. Similarly, MnCl6, 4 unpaired electron, FeCN6, 3 negative, 1 unpaired electron, and so on. This apparent anomaly is explained by the valence bond theory in terms of the formation of inner orbital as well as outer orbital complex. Like some of the inner orbital complex are D2sp3 hybridization, they possesses paramagnetic and the later diamagnetic. Some are sp3 D2 hybridization, they are mainly paramagnetic corresponding to 4, 5 unpaired electrons. Now this is the one question related to the spin only magnetic moment of MnBr4 2 negative, which is already given 5.9 Bohr magneton, and they are asking you to predict the geometry of the compound. Now the formula for the magnetic moment is mu n plus 2. N is the number of unpaired electrons. Now in case of manganese, which is 25, 3d5 4s2. Now in case of MnBr4 2 negative, this is x minus 4 equal to minus 2, this is x is equal to plus 2. So these two electrons will move out. So manganese with plus 2 oxidation state becomes a 3d5, it possesses 5 unpaired electron. So 5 plus 2, they are saying the Bohr magneton, that becomes equal to 5.9 Bohr magneton, which is already given. So their geometry is 5d electrons remain unpaired. Their hybridization will be either sp3 or it cannot be dsp2. It cannot be dsp2. So their geometry is tetrahedral. Geometry is tetrahedral. Now the limitations of valence bond theory. First, it does not give quantitative interpretation of magnetic data. It does not explain about the color. It does not give the quantitative interpretation of thermodynamic or the kinetic stabilities of coordination compound. It does not make exact predictions regarding the tetrahedral and square planar complexes. It does not distinguish between the weak and the strong ligands. Next is a crystal field theory, which is an electrostatic model and which considers the metal-ligand bonds to be ionic. In the valence bond theory, the metal-ligand bond was coordinate, this is ionic, and they arises from the electrostatic attraction between the metal ion and the ligand. Ligands are the point charges in case of anion or point dipoles in case of neutral molecule. 5d orbitals in the isolated gaseous matter atom or ion, they possess the same energy, that is called degenerate, and this degeneracy is maintained if the negative charge symmetrically field of the negative charges around the metal ion. They are saying basically कि metal is there and the ligands are arranged around the metal atom in this way, and the ligand which are attached to the metal atom in this way, they are apart from each other, so that the repulsion between them is least and they maintain the degeneracy, and these are the point charges. Negative field due to the ligand, either anion or the negative end of the dipole molecule like ammonia and water in a complex, they are asymmetrical and the degeneracy of the d orbital is lifted. It results in the splitting of the d orbitals, and the pattern depends upon the nature of crystal field. In the crystal field in the octahedral entities, like you have the 5d orbitals, 5d orbitals are there, and the repulsion is more when these d orbitals are directed towards the ligand, because d orbital they have possesses 5 different kind of shape: dxy, dyz, dxz. They are lying within the axis, which are directed between the axis. They are between the axis x and y and z, and ligand always approach from the axis. They are directed from the axis, while dx square minus y square and dz square, they are along the axis. They are pointing towards the ligand, so their repulsion with the ligand is more in comparison to these three orbitals. So degeneracy of the d orbital has been removed due to the ligand electron metal electron repulsion in octahedral complexes. 3 orbital of lower energy are called T2G and 2 orbital of high energy is called EG. So when the d orbitals are there, these 5 orbitals are there, and in case of the octahedral complexes T2G, they are of lower energy because these are dxy, which are between the axes, dxy, dyz, dxz. So when the ligand approach, they possesses less repulsion. So repulsion is less, their energy is low. So these are the T2G orbital and they possesses lower energy. So we'll write it on the lower side. While EG, which are on the upper side, that is dz square and dx square minus y square, which is EG, which is of higher energy orbital, and difference between the two is called delta O. Delta O is the crystal field splitting energy. O stands for octahedral complexes. Like in this, you can see for this is the 5d orbital. Initially they are degenerate. Degenerate means they possesses the same energy, right? When they divide, 3 on the lower side, 2 on the upper side, T2G and EG. In case of your tetrahedral complexes, in case of tetrahedral, 2 on the lower side, 3 on the upper side. So T2G on the upper side, EG on the lower side. The energy of the 2 EG orbital will increases and 3 T2G orbital decreases. Crystal field splitting delta O depends upon the field produced by the ligand and the charge on the metal ion. Some ligands are able to produce strong field, in which case splitting will be large, while other possesses weak field, in which the splitting will be small. This is the spectrochemical series in which the ligands are arranged in a series in order of increasing field strength, in which CO is a strong ligand and iodide is the weakest ligand. Now, d orbital of the metal ion in the octahedral coordination entities. Single d electron, lower energy in T2G, then D2, D3, and they occupy the T2G orbital in accordance with the Hund's rule. Like for example, we are not going to write dictate the one which is there. Like suppose if there is the D4 ion and they are asking you to arrange it in the octahedral complexes and low spin. Low spin means that strong ligand is approaching. So you have T2G on the lower side because it is octahedral, EG on the upper side, T2G and EG. And because that is low spin, so electron first you will fill on the lower orbit, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the number of unpaired electrons are 2. In opposite, if they are saying D4 octahedral, high spin, and the weak ligand is approaching, weak ligand, then 3 on the lower side and 2 on the upper side. In such cases, we'll follow the Hund's rule strictly. 1, 2, 3 and fourth electron will be on the upper orbital. There is no pairing in the T2G. So T2G and EG, and they'll ask you to write the configuration, then you'll write T2G3 and EG2. Here if they'll write, so T2G4 and EG0. Now do the pairing energy. Pairing energy represents the energy required for electron pairing in the single orbital. If P is greater than delta O, then fourth electron enters in one of the EG orbital and giving the configuration T2G3 EG1. Pairing energy, as the name suggests, that electron gets paired up. No, it is opposite to this. This is the pairing energy is applicable mainly for the weak field ligands. So if the pairing energy is more, the fourth electron, as we discussed, will go in the EG orbital 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is your T2G and this is EG. So this becomes T2G3 and EG1. But opposite, if it is there, if crystal field splitting energy is delta O is more, then the pairing will occur here only. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this becomes T2G4 and EG0. And this is low spin complex. Now crystal field splitting in the tetrahedral coordination entities. In tetrahedral, the d orbital is inverted and is smaller as compared to the octahedral field splitting. So for the same metal, the same ligand, metal ligand distance will be more. It is delta T, that is crystal field splitting energy for tetrahedral complex, is equal to 4/9 of delta O. Consequently, the orbital field splitting energy are not sufficiently large for forcing the electron to get pair up. So low spin configuration are rarely observed. So G subscript is used for octahedral as well as square planar complexes. So G is not used with the energy level. Now the color in the coordination compound. If any element that possesses unpaired electron, they will be colored and they'll absorb energy, move to the excited state, come out and give the complementary color. Right? So if the complementary color is the color generated from the wavelength left over. If green light is absorbed, it appears red and so on. For example, titanium, hexaaqua titanium. Like if you have titanium, the atomic number is 22, 3d24s2 and 3 electron moves out. So this becomes 3d1. Right? Now along with the 3d1, like if you have hexaaqua is there and you have water is a weak ligand, so 1 electron will be here, right? So after this they absorb the energy, move to the excited state, come back and they give the complementary color. So if the light corresponding the energy of blue-green region is absorbed, it would excite the electron from T2G to EG level, but when the complex appears, they become violet in color. That is because of the D transition. D electron move from 1 T2G to EG after the absorption of energy. This important word, keyword is DD transition. So removal of water on heating renders it colorless. Similarly, another example, copper sulfate. It is white in color, but copper sulfate pentahydrate is blue in color. The influence of ligand on the color of the complex is there. NiH2O6 2 positive complex which form Ni-nickel 2 chloride. It is dissolved in water. Ethane 1,2-diamine progressively added in the molar mass ratio. So the change in the color you can observe. Limitations. Ligands are the point charges. Anionic ligand should exert the greatest splitting effect. Then anionic ligand actually are found at the low end of the electrochemical series. and does not take into account the covalent character of bonding between the ligand and the central atom. They said that they are ionic bond, metal is cation, ligand is anion, and so on. Now the question is, explain on the basis of valence bond theory that this is square planar and diamagnetic, and NiCl4 is tetrahedral and paramagnetic. Now in this case we'll need to draw, now this is valence bond, they have not asked for the crystal field theory. If you have NiCN4 2 negative, then Ni is again 28 3d8 4s2. After the removal of 2 electron, Ni2 positive becomes 3d8 4s0. Similarly, in NiCl4 2 negative, again same, Ni28 3d8 4s2, and because again 2 positive charge is there, this becomes 3d8 4s0. Now in the case of the nickel, you have 3d8 4s2. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is your 3d, your 4s and 4p. Cn is a strong ligand, and in the strong ligand the pairing will occur. So when the pairing will occur, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, this pairing will occur, 3d 4s and 4p. So Cn, actually you'll write electron. So this is your dsp2, and because 1 in d, 1 in s and p2, this is square planar. This is square planar. While in case of NiCl4 2 negative, NiCl4 2 negative, again 8 electron, but this Cl is a weak ligand, so no pairing will occur, and the electrons you will fill here only, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 and 4, 1 in S and 3 in P. So sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral. So you need to make the structure and explain it properly. Now this is inner orbital, that is the outer orbital complex. On the same lines you will be able to explain. Now the bonding in the metal carbonyl, homoleptic. Homoleptic means that when the same kind of ligands are present, they are formed by most of the transition metals. They are simple, well-defined structure. First example is nickel tetracarbonyl, tetrahedral. Then is pentacarbonyl iron 0, that is trigonal bipyramidal structure. Octahedral, that is your CrCO whole 6 and octahedral structure. Then is dodecacarbonyl dimanganese, it is Mn2CO10. MnCO5 is joined by MnMn bond. The another one is CO2CO whole 8. Now you need to draw the structure accordingly. 3 on the one side, this 3 on the one side, and this. In this also is not like that ki all the 5 carbonyl you can draw in any way. Remember, like Mn, you'll draw it like this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. This way you will draw. It's not like that ki the CO in any way you can write. Then what kind of the bonding which is present? In Mc, sigma bond is formed by the donation of lone pair of electrons on the carbonyl carbon into the vacant orbital of metal. If the C is giving the electron to the metal atom, this is sigma bond. And if metal will give the electron to C, that is your anti-bonding orbital if they are giving, then this is your pi bond is forming. And when the both M is giving to C, C is giving to M, the kind of the bond which form that produces synergic effect, which strengthens the bond between the CO and the metal. Now about the stability of the coordination compound. Stability refers to the degree of association between the species. If the metal and ligand, they are forming the bond with each other, they are stable. They are forming like Mn plus 4L give Ml4. So the magnitude of equilibrium constant for the association expresses the stability. Then larger is the stability constant, higher is the proportion of Ml4 that exists in the solution. Free metal ion rarely exists in the solution, so that M will be surrounded by the solvent molecule. which will compete with the ligand molecule L and will be successfully replaced by them, right? Like M plus L give Ml, and you can write the K1, K2, K3, K4. But if the condition will be reversed, that metal ligand bond is cleaving between the metal and ligand, this is forming. But if it is Ml4 gives M plus 4L, if the metal ligand bond is cleaving, that means that is your instability constant, because the bond between the metal and ligand is stable, but when it is breaking, this is instability constant. Instability constant or the dissociation constant of the coordination compound is the reciprocal of formation constant, as the name also suggests. These are the importance and the application of the coordination compound, which are very important also. Coordination compound, they are widely present in mineral, plant and animal world. So like in this case, in the important function in the analytical chemistry, metallurgical, biological, industry and medicine. They find use in quantitative and qualitative chemical analysis. The familiar color reaction given by the metal ions, such as number of the ligand, as a result of the formation of coordination entities. For example, the such reagents include EDTA and DMG. Hardness of water can be estimated by simple titration with Na2-EDTA, calcium magnesium ion. They form the stable complex with EDTA, right? Gold, for example, combined with the cyanide ion and the presence of oxygen and water form AuCN whole twice negative. Nickel, they can be converted into nickel tetracarbonyl, which is decomposed to give the pure nickel. And these were the some of the important extraction. There is one more important application, that is cisplatin. Cisplatin, which is used in the treatment of the cancer, and the formula for the compound is PTNH3 whole twice Cl2, right? So this compound can also used in the treatment of the cancer, is another application for the coordination compound. And thanks a lot for the patient hearing. Thank you.